Hey dreamers, welcome back for another Journal with Me episode. And here I am actually getting and documenting down my favorites for the month of September. And I'm going to start by putting down some distress ink. Now, I have been wanting to get back into my distress inks for a while. I had remembered a spread that I'd done a long time ago. It was a few years ago using distress inks, and I was really into it at that time, using them for backgrounds. And I, for some reason, thought of this spread and decided that I wanted to do something similar, or use the distress inks for my background again. So I pulled out the ones that I had, thinking about the colors that I was going to use in the pictures that I was going to use for my favorites. I wanted to pull out specific colors from this one image that is related to the movie Do Revenge, and it was a lot of beautiful pastel colors. So the light purples, the mints, and like the really light pinks. So I pulled out my distress inks, and those colors, of course, I've had in my stash for a while, so they weren't really working anymore. They were kind of dried up, so I decided to just go ahead and get some new ones. Now, if you saw my haul video, you will know that I accidentally purchased the small ones instead of the big ones. My bad, but now I know better. But now purchase it directly from Ranger Ink. So anyway, moving on, I got that down, and so now I am working on my actual spread, getting the pictures down, and of course the alphas. I wanted to letter out September faves. However, I am doing this spread in March, and so that's what I'm thinking, March. Don't worry, I fixed it and I realized that no, this is not your March faves. You are still documenting last year. So I pulled that up, and there's several times here you'll see me. I'm back and forth with this, so I'm like, and forgive my head because I'm in my head is in the frame like a lot. But anyway, I realize when I'm pulling up some of these letters, I don't mind if I like rip them or anything like that, because the sticker pad or the alpha book that I got them from was like in Target like years ago. It was like $3, and they had several sheets of the same type of alphas. So I have plenty of them. So if I accidentally rip one or tear one, whatever, it doesn't matter because I have replacements. And so yeah, I'm trying to fit the entirety of September faves with those letters on this, and that's why you see me pulling things up, putting them back down, pulling things up, putting them back down. And you guys know that that is just really what I do anyway, my style. Hopefully I won't be in the frame too much anymore. I've noticed that something is going on with my vision. Thankfully, I go and get that checked at the end of the month. So if I need new glasses, it's past time for new glasses. But if my prescription changed, and at least I don't know. Anyway, I'm finally getting into getting down my favorites for the month. As far as entertainment, I really enjoyed Do Revenge, so I wanted to highlight that one, as well as a few other ones that were my favorites. Surprisingly, there was nothing that I was listening to on repeat this month. So I end up filling up the other page with the books that I really enjoyed for the month. And I got like four read. So all of the books that I ended up reading for the month are included in this spread. So yeah. Anyway, getting down Do Revenge. Now, when I print and cut that Do Revenge, I like to do a smaller outline, and so that caused the R to be separate from the rest of Revenge. And I was going to redo it so it would all be together, but I was like, it's okay, I can just piece it together. So that's what I ended up doing. Here I am getting down the other shows that I really enjoyed for the month. Have you guys watched Claim to Fame? It came on Hulu, and basically it was about these They were either like siblings, somehow they were related to somebody famous, and it was a competition, and people had to guess, the other competitors had to guess who you were related to, and if they guessed right they got to stay in the house, and if they guessed wrong they left and you stayed. So it was a very interesting show, and it was so much fun. It was hosted by two of the Jonas Brothers, I think. Kevin, I'm not familiar with their names. Kevin and the one that's not like particularly the one that's not in the group. So yeah, I'm pulling out more alphas here, trying to get binged down, and I just decide on those regular silver ones there, and because I kind of felt like the silver went with the whole do revenge color scheme or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, but if you haven't watched Claim to Fame, it's on Hulu and it's so much fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I was very happy with the winner. Like the last two people, I would have been happy with either one of them winning because they tickled me. So yeah, I was very very happy with the winner of that one. So if you haven't watched it, go check out Claim to Fame. Anyway, I'm getting my entire watch list down, besides the ones that I have highlighted here. And then I will move on to the books that I read for the month. And this was my entire book list that I did read for the month. And so I'm just highlighting everything because I actually enjoyed every single book that I read, except for there was one I enjoyed it, but it parts of it like started to get on my nerves, like really started to get on my nerves, and so yeah. But I am back and forth with this, trying to figure out how I want things to go. I have pulled out washi tape that matches the colors and is book themed, so I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to use this washi. I've had that in my stash for a long time, got it from Michael's like forever and a day ago. I read these two romance books. One of them is called, it's a series, and there's actually three in the series, but as far as September goes, I only had completed two by the end of the month, so I didn't include the third one because I didn't complete it until the month after. However, the first one was Big Ben, and the next one was The Benefactor, and that was the one that kind of started getting on my nerves because he got very very He-Man type of ish, which you expect in kind of a romance, but it was like overkill. And don't worry, I changed those up, but then I end up getting rid of those books that books read completely. So yeah. Another thing I wanted to note about this, I start seeing like dark marks on the other side of the paper, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Not realizing that Pentel Energel that I used to write my list did not do well on this ink, this distress ink, and it's smearing and smudging whenever I have my hand over in that area, and I'm carrying it over to other areas. Because I'm like, you'll see me pull out my paper towel, like trying to. I'm like, where is this coming from? And I finally see that it's smearing. And so eventually I will pull out I have to pull it out twice. I have something called Fixative here, and it's by Krylon, and basically you use it to spray your project. So like if you were using like colored pencil or something like that, you know how that can come off or spread or whatever if you're not careful. Can I talk? Careful, or charcoal or anything like that. So once you do your project, you spray it with fixative so none of that moves and you don't transfer it with your hands or anything like that. So I do that like twice here because I use that Pentel Energel, and then when I move over to my book section, there it goes. When I move over to my book sections to write, I decide, okay, I'll use my uni pen, and that should do better. However, I notice when I'm writing with the uni pen that it's very liquidy and stuff, and if I end up putting my hand down in it, it's going to be smudged as well. So again, I end up using a fixative just so it'll stop all that crazy smudging and whatnot. So if you ever have a project, if something like this going, get you some fixative. I do want to ask if any of you are aware of any pens that I can use to write over this kind of distress ink without all of this smearing and smudging to begin with. That would be very helpful. I'm thinking possibly the Sharpie pens, but I don't want to use like the Sharpie markers because I think that would bleed through the page. Anyway, I know I went off on a whole entire tangent, but I did want to make note of that so you all will be aware. And now that I'm aware, I know what to do and what not to do. So, again, if you know of a pen that works well on distress inks that doesn't do all the smearing, please let me know. I would appreciate that. Anyway, I am getting this finished up. I am just kind of writing a quick synopsis of what I thought of all of the books. Ooh, one of those was Fire and Blood because you guys know that Fire and Blood has been on HBO. Well, during this time was on HBO, the series, and I was enjoying it so much. I was like, and the book is always better. So I had to read the book, and I love the way it was written. George like does it again. So yeah, loved it, loved it, loved it. So I'm just going to put some finishing touches on this and that wraps this up. I may do a joint flip through of August and September since it's so quick. If you enjoy this content, then please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. I trust that all of you have been safe and well, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye!